All these are recorded and kept on file at the city. I need to read our hearing script. I think everyone here has been through these before, so I just need to get through this hearing script and then we'll get started. This is the October 27th, 2021 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. My name is David Sturkey. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the City of Cincinnati, and I will preside over this hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20210151. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the Zoning Hearing Examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing, unless a party has opted to submit evidence or testimony in the form of writing prior to this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If there were anyone here from the public, they'd have an opportunity to speak after the applicant had presented its case. I'll give our zoning plans examiner, Trey Sheldon, an opportunity to present any testimony after the public's had an opportunity to speak. If in the event any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant shall have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and or argument offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony or documents. That's generally evidence you want to introduce that consists of statements made by someone who is not present at this hearing. In the event of any technical difficulties or unforeseen circumstances with our video conferencing technology, we'll do our best to troubleshoot that on the fly, but to the extent it prevents us from meaningfully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. Okay, last thing I need to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So if you intend on providing any testimony here today, making any statements, asking any questions, doing anything other than just strictly observing here today, then you need to be sworn in. So if that is you, if you could raise your right hand, I need everyone to answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Okay, great. Mr. Ward, are you going to be taking the lead here on the presentation?
Yeah, that's fine. We're asking for a zoning variance from the permitted 8 foot of excavation on this particular lot to 10 feet. And in essence, what we are doing is we've already demolished the original home on the property, and we're putting a new home back in its place with very similar contours and grades to what was there existing. So that's the purpose of the variance, is to grant us the ability to do that and get started on a new home for the neighborhood.
Okay, and why should we exceed the maximum building envelope here? Or I'm sorry, the maximum excavation and fill on this property? Why is it appropriate?
The existing home, the existing structure had the exact same contours with a walkout basement in the rear, and we're simply looking to again put a new home back in place of the previous home at the same contours and not need to do anything excessive on that lot.
So there aren't any new cuts at all?
Simply removing the old foundation, putting a new foundation back in the plate in place of that. So okay. In fact, if anything, we feel we're going to enhance some of the grading issues that happened with the old house. Actually, there's some grading contours to the right of our property. We've met with our neighbor to the right. We're working in conjunction with them on raising that grade slightly to help with a failing retaining wall that he has. So we've taken the lead on taking care of that for him as we do this.
David, you can note in my staff report too, Walt, my colleague Walt Moeller, handled the permit approval for the retaining wall. It's a maximum of about 5 feet, and it's just to provide lateral support as they are removing this. They obviously have to support the adjacent property, but the wall does not in itself, because it's a maximum of 5 feet along that, it does not increase the excavation and fill any greater than it does for the footers for this new dwelling. So cumulatively it's still the same thing, 2 feet. But I'm just providing a little additional information that there is a lateral wall on the right side of this under separate permit, and Walt and I have cross reference in regard to to the site plan and the contouring, and it's just needs 2 feet of relief. I'd also like to note that they have stepped this, so there is stepping as you go in compliance with the hillside regulations. So the hillside development standards. So not only does the retaining wall not exceed the 8 feet, it's just 5 feet, but they have stepped this into the upper portion of the hillside in order to have this happen. Further note that the garage entry is on the uphill side of it. So this is mostly just to have habitable basement space. It's a minimal excavation to meet frost. Basically, my finding is it's minimal to meet the frost requirement for the footer in order to get a habitable basement space. And they're not asking for anything more than just that minimum to meet building code. And that's pretty much all I have, unless you have further questions.
I don't think I do. Anything else from Ashford?
Nope, I think Henry summed it up better than I did. So.
Okay, great. Well, we'll leave it at that then. Thank you all for your time and your testimony. Like I said, these usually take about 2 weeks. So as soon as I have a decision, I will put it into a PDF and email it to everybody who's in the hearing. And then as soon as you have that, you can start working with Trey on any necessary permitting after approval. Any questions right now?
None.
Good. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you all again. Hope you have a great day. We are adjourned.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Trey.
Thanks.